more support for Ukraine. I guess the U.S., we just cannot get enough of it, y'all. We cannot get enough of it. Ukraine was given 101 guns and 148,000 bullets collected by Miami police in a buyback scheme. I always thought that when they do the whole buyback, they give you, okay, you paid $2,000 for your gun. We'll give you 1,500. We'll give you 18, something like that, maybe even 12. And then you get the money, we get the gun, we melt them down, and we dispose of them. Correct? That's what I always thought a buyback program was. Apparently, that's not what's going on. Let's continue. Ukraine received a shipment of 101 firearms and 148,000 bullets handed in by the Miami Police Department, according to Ukraine's parliament, with the weapons now in the hands of Ukrainian authorities. The transfer, a first of its kind, came about through the city of Miami's voluntary gun buyback program, which aims to get guns off the streets and send them to Ukraine. The Guns for Ukraine scheme provides vouchers ranging from $50 to $150. So if you pay $800 for a gun, they're going to give you $50. Okay. Depending on the type of weapon handed in, at least 2 more batches of weapons are expected to arrive in Ukraine, though the announcement did not provide a clear timeline for those. The Miami project took shape in June last year with the proposed resolution of then Commissioner Ken Russell. Local outlet Miami News Time reported at the time. The resolution said that the weapons would be shipped with the help of nonprofit Ukrainian Congress Committee of America, UCCA. Russell, who traveled to Irpin this week at the invitation of the Ukraine parliament, said, "What you are seeing today has never been done before in the history of the United States. Never before has a U.S. city sent guns to another country. It is very complicated, or it was very complicated, and I can only take credit for the idea. Normally, when confiscating these guns would be destroyed." That's what I thought, he added. So this program creates a new precedent where they may serve higher purpose. All right, powerful goals. The Biden administration has played a crucial role in helping Ukraine shore up its defense by providing over $43 billion in security aid since Russia's full-scale invasion began in February 2022. All right, now, very interesting. I actually want to go into the oldie but a goodie, Australia. All right, and you'll see the connection with this. Australia confiscated 650,000 guns. Murders and suicides plummeted. Interesting how that works. Yeah, get your guns, and you guys aren't killing each other or yourselves. As much. Okay. Let's get into it. Between October 1996 and September 1997, Australia responded to its own gun violence problem with a solution that was both straightforward and severe. It collected roughly 650,000 privately held guns. It was one of the largest mandatory gun buyback programs in recent history. On April 28, 1996, a 28-year-old man with a troubled past named Martin Bryant, which I did a video on this a while back, walked into a cafe in Port Arthur, a tourist town on the island of Tasmania, and opened fire with a semi-automatic rifle. He killed 35 people and wounded another 28. Australia's Prime Minister at the time, John Howard, had taken office just 6 weeks earlier at the head of the centre-right coalition. He quickly drew a very clear conclusion from the Port Arthur killing. Australia had too many guns and they were too easy to get. When you don't allow people to have any kind of background checks, you say, okay, 18 years old, you can get it, or whatever age, you could get it off the street. We'll just make sure that we just keep bringing more guns in here, and we'll make sure you have enough ammunition. And I wonder why violence is so high. I don't get it. Let's continue. Howard persuaded both his coalition and Australia states, the country had a federal system, to agree to a sweeping nationwide reform of gun laws. The so-called National Firearms Agreement, drafted the month after the shooting, sharply restricted legal ownership of firearms in Australia. It also established a registry of all guns owned in the country, among other measures, and required a permit for all new firearm purchases. Why do we not have that? One of the most significant provisions of the NFA was a flat-out ban on certain kinds of guns, such as automatic and semi-automatic rifles and shotguns. Don't they use those in school shootings? Then we see all these kind of crazy shootings, cut off saw, guns and all that. Don't they use all of this in shootings? Mass shootings? Mall shootings? School shootings? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I don't know. But there were already a number of such guns in circulation in Australia, and the NFA required getting those off the street. Australia solved this problem by introducing a mandatory buyback. Australian states would take away all guns that had been declared illegal. In exchange, they'd pay the owners a fair price, not $50 to $150 if you paid $1,200. Okay, set by the National Committee using market value as a benchmark to compensate for the loss of their property. The NFA also offered legal amnesty for anyone who handed in illegally owned guns, though they were not confiscated. I wonder why people will want to get the guns off the streets after some wacko went and killed 35 people and injured several more. I wonder why people are okay to cooperate with that. There were fears that the mandatory buyback would provoke resistance. During one address to the crowd of gun rights supporters, Howard wore a bulletproof vest. Thankfully, fears of violence turned out to be unfounded. About 650,000 legally owned guns were peacefully seized, then destroyed as a part of the buyback. Interesting. Community is scared. Community gives over what is causing their fear, and then everyone's okay with it. According to one academic estimate, this amounted to about 20% of all privately owned guns in Australia. In 2011, Harvard's David Hemingway and Mary V. reviewed the research on Australia's suicide and homicide rate after the NFA. Their conclusion was clear. The NFA seemed to have been increasingly successful in terms of lives saved. What? But if you take away the guns, then it decreases that. I would never have thought that, right? What they found is a decline in both suicide and homicide rates after the NFA. The average firearm suicide rate in Australia in the 7 years after the bill declined by 57%. Compared to the 7 years prior, the average firearm homicide rate went down by 42%. I wonder, guns and murder, is there a correlation? Guns and suicide. Also, is there a correlation with that? Hey, I greatly appreciate if you could support me. Simply go to ebay.com. In the search bar, type in Latrice Limited, click on shops, and then support me. I have a wide variety of items on there, many of my own personal Latrice Limited items, such as candles, bath bombs, soaps, essential oil blends, lingerie robes, so much stuff. I even have men's ties and comic books on there. Definitely support me, and do not forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.